Hello and welcome, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and Theros Beyond Death is here. Well, technically it's here. Like, the cards aren't available yet physically, but you can play with them online on Arena and Modo, but the cards are available for pre-release, where I think you can buy a box now, but you can't go buy a box like today, because today's like the middle of the week, it's Tuesday, but you can buy it on Friday when it's released. But it's released after everyone's played with it and played the decks online and on Modo and Arena anyway. I don't know, because fuck it, give Wizards your money. On the topic of giving money, there's a link to my Patreon in the description below. Theros Beyond Death has brought some rather potent and powerful cards with it. Perhaps not as potent and powerful as a certain abbed up lad, but good nonetheless.
Hello there.
Some of these cards are powerful upgrades for existing decks, others might even open up entire archetypes in Legacy, Modern and Pioneer, which is actually pretty exciting. The most exciting of these cards in Eternal formats are the things like the Ox for Dredge, Underworld Breach, which is kind of like Yorgwill in many ways, Thassa's Lab Maniac, and of course Heliod Sun Crowned. Heliod Sun Crowned is probably going to reinvigorate older archetypes if it does make any impact. I'm going to say that the card will see some fringe play. The combo potential for it is pretty good. It fits straight into Soul Sisters if people play that, and some people are committed to still playing that deck even though it fucking sucks. Whilst the Ox, the Emissary, and what was the other one I said? Breach are more likely to actually, I don't know, change the metagame of an Eternal format and stick around, I think Heliod is the weaker of the four for cards that will see Eternal play. Essentially, in less than 2 minutes, I think, looking at the timer down below, I've summed up my top 5 cards that see Eternal play out there Beyond. I should do a video like that. In spite of all this, Heliod has easily been the one that has been the most hyped up. Everyone and their mum has done a video on this, including this SJW cuck.
It's me.
The main reason people are talking about it is because Heliod combos with Walking Ballista, which I think is still a relatively good combo. The problem is that people think it's going to be like Splinter Twin and get banned, and I don't think that's the case. I think it's actually something that can be consequentially part of your deck. In reality, you play some sort of Soul Sisters brew around it in Pioneer, and then you have Walking Ballista and there's a oops I win, but also a good strong magic card in and of its own right. In Modern, however, I think that actually like focusing on the combo is better because Modern has a lot more toys for consistency between Collected Company, Court of Calling, Eldamri's Call. The combo is so potent and so exciting that some outspoken people have spoken, well, outspokenly about it. Joe Biden went as far as to call game developers that came up with the cards little creeps that, and I quote, teach you how to kill Tron players. Saffron Olive went as far as to say that the cards create a combo.
Combo, get our combo.
Yes. Ultimately, I've actually landed in a very similar place to Saffron Olive's deck. I was considering playing maybe a mono white Soul Sister deck with Heliod, which could still be a video, but I think if you want to really get on the combo wagon, then your best bet is to play a deck that can more consistently combo than, say, a mono white deck can, because mono white has no card selection or tutoring. But this is basically Melira Pod. Now, the history of Melira Pod myself is that I used to have Melira Pod built in paper, and I played at several FNMs. So there's probably might be a poor person out there who had to come across me in the wild and went, oh yeah, I remember when Vince fucked me up with Melira. I actually built it online as well, back before rental systems were really a thing, and I actually sold out of the deck because going through the Melira loop combo was just tedious and frustrating, even if the deck was really good. This was around the time of Eldrazi Winter. I ended up settling back on green-white taxes for the GP Bologna at the time, which was the one that Kea Patel won during Eldrazi Winter, and yeah, I moved away from Melira combo, sold off parts of it, and never really looked back. For those of you who don't know, the deck primarily uses Melira, and a little bit later when Anafenza came along with Khan's Tarkir block to go infinite with Persist creatures. That's right, Persist, everyone's favourite combo mechanic, is evident in this deck. We have copies of Kitchen Finks and Murderous Redcap as the traditional combo cards. You have Melira and Anafenza to help them come back with a counter or without -1/-1 counters, therefore countering out the Persist. And then you have a sack outlet. The sack outlet was almost always Viscera Seer, a 1-mana black vampire that allows you to scry your deck infinitely and also sack him. Fun fact, this deck and this archetype was originally called Podless Pod, because this is what Pod become. Originally, Birthing Pod was how you chained up into these cards and kill people with Meliras and Kitchen Finks. And I'm not even making it up, Bovril is currently up on my leg. Come here, boy. As I was talking, he comes up. Ugh. I'm not making this up, I'm not bringing it on camera just for the sake of it. He was like over there playing while I was recording, and he ran over and started going like at my leg. Here he is. I know, Daddy is just so handsome and fun. I know, but he's got to make these videos for weirdos on the internet, so they can all call him Daddy in the comments. Okay? Okay. That's Bovril, my miniature Dax. If you haven't seen him before, welcome to the channel. This is Bovril. This is my puppy. I've got Bruce as well, but Bruce doesn't like being on camera as much. Doesn't like being held up. Where was I? Right, okay. So Melira was basically the evolution of Birthing Pod. A creature... That's my other dog barking now while I try and explain this part of the video. Fucking hell. Anyway, where were we? This was the evolution of Melira Pod into, like, Podless Pod. And then along came Collected Company, which gave the deck a really big, like, shot in the arm for being able to hit multiple combo pieces in people's end steps, or instant speed, or in response to a raft to combo kill people out. The deck's kind of fallen out of favour because Melira Pod became Podless Pod, and then Devoted Druid combo came along with Vizier Remedies and Amonkhet block, and Melira just faded away. Which is weird, really, because the deck is still pretty good, and Melira gives you a good matchup against Infect, like in your main board with a cordable, companyable creature. That means Infect can't really beat you. Infinite Life gives you a good burn matchup. Yeah, it's a pretty good deck. But perhaps Heliod could bring it back out of tier 2 obscurity. The reason Heliod improves the deck is that it's basically a much better version of an Offenser. It's in the same colours, but it isn't double white, so it doesn't stress your mana base too badly. It's an indestructible god that can't be removed. It can be hit with Collected Company and goes infinite with Spike Feeder. Another card that I've seen play in Modern alongside Archangel of Thune, but as you can see, Heliod's a little less clunky than Archangel of Thune too. So what we've done, and this is kind of what Saffron Olive was resulting to as well in this video talking about breaking this card, is that we've slammed these combos together. You've got Melira, Viscera, Seer, and Kitchen Finks, and then you've got Heliod plus Spike Feeder, but like they all work together quite well as well. Finxes trigger the Heliods to grow themselves. If they die and come back, or you sack them and make them come back alongside Heliod, he counts like Melira, making sure that Kitchen Finks will come back and be able to be sacked again and again and again, giving you infinite life. I guess the biggest question is whether or not infinite life is good enough in current Modern. It will help you beat decks like Storm and Burn and Jund and any other really fair deck, but decks that are like Labman killing you or similar, yeah, that might be a problem. I guess you want to play against fair decks that we can actually still grind along with, thanks to cards like Collected Company and Cording into Eternal Witnesses, and then combo them out of nowhere when they can't deal with our insurmountable board advantage. And we want to dodge the really, really unfair decks, things like Neoform, Ad Nauseam, and other decks that might Labman us, or kill us with other alternative win conditions. I guess we're also weak to Happily Ever After deck. I'm playing 2 copies of Walking Ballista and a Murderous Red Cap as well, just to give us more chance of just randomly combo killing our opponent. And by randomly, I mean like consistently doing it through tutors. Walking Ballista itself doesn't get tutored for very well, as we can't cord or company into it, so it's more of naturally drawing it or Eternal Witnessing it back, just playing it out early in the game's removal spell. Meanwhile, Murderous Red Cap is a card we can cord for and infect and kill them if we've got the Melira combo online. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comment section below. Drop me a comment and a like. We're going to go into some games now. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can support me via Patreon. Patreon being my biggest supporter here at PleasantKenobi Towers. It's not a tower. That's not at all true. Our other biggest supporter, of course, is channelfireball.com. If you're going to a GP or Magic Fest at some point this year, make sure you use the promo code Kenobi to help support the channel. You can also use it in the store to get some percentage off. I'm not going to say the exact percentage, so I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but you get some money off as well as a discount code. And with all that out of the way, let's get into playing some Magic. The die roll has been won, but the war has just begun. Okay, I guess we keep this. It's got a combo in it. Birds of Paradise. Let's go. Temple Garden into Birds of Paradise, something I haven't done in Modern for a long, long time. Temple of Deceit. I'm gonna guess this is Ad Nauseam. On stream on Monday night, we played against like multiple combo decks. And by multiple, I mean like 10 in a row. There are options here of like playing a Birds of Paradise and one of the other combo pieces, but that kind of gives the gig away. Meanwhile, if it's Ad Nauseam, I mean, I don't think it actually matters because they won't have much interaction. But I'm going to slam the Finks here because at least it sticks around if they have a removal spell. Temple of Deceit into City of Ass into Pentad Prism tells us that this is definitely Ad Nauseam. That means they can actually kill us with the Labman combo if that's part of their deck with the new version of Labman from Theros. We also drew the other part of the combo, which is pretty crazy. So we've now assembled Infinite Life and Infinite Scries. This might get a concession out of our opponent. Probably not though, they'll probably try and time us out because Magic players love cheap wins. So we're going to start doing the combo now. I'll be right back. The fun part about this combo is that I haven't done it on Modo since when was it? I started playing Melira combo just before I made Mono Red Tron videos, so maybe 3 or so years ago, and I hated doing this and getting timed out. It's interesting that Mono doesn't give you an option to, like, always top or something when you've got infinite squires on the stack, but whatever.
It's over 9,000!
We passed back to our opponents on 16 life. Next time we murderous red cap them to death. They cast Sleight of Hand, which means they're probably not going to die this turn to a lab man. Serum Visions from our opponent. If they have an Angel's Grace, they can survive to the next turn, but then we kill them in upkeep. Unless they have a counterspell for murderous red cap, but I'm pretty sure Ad Nauseam's not playing counter. Crack off Verdant going to 99 life. Get an Overgrown Tomb and shock ourselves. Play a murderous red cap. Pact of Negation is an interesting one. Interesting indeed. So they are playing counter magic. Cool. We slap them with our utility dorks and a kitchen finks. Then in their end step, I'm going to be scrying a Heliod to the top of my library so we can make one of our creatures infinitely big. Or maybe just for another red cap. Oh wait, we don't have another red cap. They're going to Angel's Grace to not die to the pact triggers. They don't have to waste all the mana this turn paying for it. They're going to Spores of the Vault. Oh, okay. But then we might just be dead. They went to -3. They found themselves a Lightning Storm. But we're on, like, a lot of life. They're now going to cast Ad Nauseam. Okay, this means that they may well kill us with the blue thingamabob. Essentially, what I think they're going to do here is Simian Spirit Guide, Manamorphose, cast Thassa's Adversary. Yep, there it is. Thassa's Oracle. Do they have Manamorphose in their deck? That's the question. Or they have Pentad Prisms. There's no Manamorphose there. Triple Simian Spirit Guide Exile for 3 red. Pentad Prism for 1. They now have 1 blue to play their Thassa's Emissary. Pentad Prism for 2. They... Oh my goodness. And they win. That's how they win. I did call this. I did say it coming. I mean, the fact that they had the Pact of Negation for my Murderous Red Cap was incredibly unfortunate. And there wasn't really much else we could do there. I've trimmed down on Spike Feeders because the Infinite Life combo obviously isn't relevant. Okay, we have a combo kill in hand again. Will it be good enough? That is the question. Casted Birds of Paradise when we pass back. I guess we were unfortunate for them to have Angel's Grace plus the Pact of Negation so they can go off that turn. Oh, plus the Ad Nauseam, actually. And the Spoils that found the Lightning Storm. Why they went for Lightning Storm, I don't know. We drew another Birds of Paradise, which we're going to play. We play a Melira Sonic Outcast and pass back. If we draw another land, we can go Viscera Seer and Murderous Red Cap to kill them next turn if they don't have Pact of Negation. Play the Red Cap and see if they've got a Pact of Negation. I mean, they have to have Pact of Negation and Angel's Grace here because they can't pay for Pact next turn. They could also have a Slaughter Pact or similar for the Melira or the Viscera Seer here. Or to be fair, they could just have a singular Fatal Push from the Melira off this Gemstone Mines to stop this. They have something. They have a Path to Exile. We're going to scry because I don't think the land is relevant here. Put the Birds of Paradise in the bottom of the library. Red Cap comes down, shoots them for 2. Frustratingly, I think I've cut both my Eternal Witnesses, not thinking about how actually having one of them in the deck to accompany into to get a combo piece back would be pretty good. So yeah, I shouldn't have cut both my Witnesses. They have exiled a Lotus Bloom with Suspend after casting Serum's Visions and making a 3rd land drop. We drew a Chord of Calling, so we can now chord for a Viscera Seer. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. It used to be that you'd be able to Fiend Hunter the Laboratory Maniac effect, so that when they went to draw the card, they just died. Off of like a Chord of Calling or a Company or Displacing it or Restoration Engineering it or something. You can't now, because Thassa's Oracle doesn't give a shit about being unplayed. It's just a trigger that resolves. Yeah, it's crazy that we live in the year where they've put in a strictly better Laboratory Maniac. I mean, it's not strictly better. You can't, like, reanimate with Angel of Glory's Rise, for example. You can't play it out early and draw into the cards later down the line if you need a blocker or an attacker or something, I guess. But on the whole, for the decks that want it, it tends to be... And for those of you that are wondering if the X or less, if you get rid of Thassa's Oracle, then obviously the devotion to blue becomes 0. But it says if X is greater to or equal to the number of cards in your library. So if X is 0 and the library is empty as it is with Ad Nauseam, you still die. It's pretty crazy. This hand has a Damping Sphere in it, and a Chord of Calling for another combo piece alongside the Heliod. So, I guess I keep this. Noble Hierarch, pass the turn. Temple of Enlightenment from our opponent. They scry to the bottom. And they're not passing another cantrip, so that's good. Knight of Autumn will be pretty good at A, helping to turn Heliod on, and B, blowing up a Pentad Prism when they inevitably... We played Damping Sphere. We attack them for 1. Phyrexian Unlife. Okay, Knight of Autumn's going to be pretty good against that too. Get in for 1. The other thing we can do is in response to them starting to combos, we can Court of Calling for like an Eidolon of some description. Our opponent plays a Temple of Deceit. We drew a Cambal, which is actually really good. We hit them for 3 and pass back. You play a Sequin Coast and they pass back to us. They're obviously setting up for our turn with Angel's Grace plus ad nauseam, I think. We drew another Heliod, which isn't the best thing in the world. We cast a Heliod. Our opponent pauses to read. We attack. We're going to give this creature here lifelink, so we net again a life, but we also put a counter on something. Probably should have given lifelink to the Knight of Autumn, because it would have then hurt us less if they pathed this, but there you have it. Cambal triggers, we gain life, they lose life, put a counter on the Knight of Autumn. Path resolves, we could grab a land. They take 3 going to 10. If they can combo off this turn, I'll be very upset, because the following turn we can hold up Cord for a piece of interaction like Eidolon of Rhetoric. If we draw Walking Ballista, we also kill them. We can Cord to blow this up off of Knight of Autumn in response to them kind of going off. We're going to hold up Cord to be on the safe side and attack our opponents for 4 on the ground. I'm not going to give lifelink here because I'm going to accompany their end step. I absolutely adore the art for Phyrexian Unlife. It's some creepy shit, as the kids would say.
So you see, that's where the trouble began. That smile. That damn smile.
Our opponent's thinking they might have a pact negation here to counter this company. They're going to ad nauseam. Okay. This puts them to 1. Less than 1, sorry. They go off. The thing is, do we die to Lightning Storm here because they can play it through... Did I mess up? I messed up. I messed up bad, right?
You play Magic, you're gonna fuck up. That's how it is.
Yeah, I messed up bad. We should have had up Cord so we could Cord for a Knight to destroy the Phyrexian Unlife, but I think I messed up real bad by accompanying. That was greedy. They only have 3 Simian Spirit Guides. They can't cast Lightning Storm. Oh, they do have... they do have 4! Oh, I'm so irritated at myself. I'm so unbelievably annoyed. Because we could have Knight of Autumn, the Phyrexian Unlife, in response to this, but they were clever enough to wait to go off in response to us doing instant speed stuff. We lost this game because I got greedy. Such is life. I guess you got to learn from these things. I guess you got to learn from these things. We could have played super conservatively here. We had them on the ropes in terms of being very low, and they couldn't cast multiple spells through us interacting with them with Cord. In response to that, ad nauseam, I could have corded for Eidolon, or I could have corded for Knight of Autumn, the second one in our deck. But unfortunately, I didn't. We have won the die roll. We have infinite life in hand. Okay, let's give it a go. We lead with Noble Hierarch. Our opponent leads Snowland into Astrolabe. What an unusual start for Modern. They play a Mox Amber, a foil one. A Bauble. They crack. I assume their deck is some form of Breach/Emery. We play a Spike Feeder. The upside of our combo is that Force Negation can't hit either part of it. Renin 6. And they kill our Noble Hierarch. Their deck appears to be a collection of obnoxious shit. We've drawn a Melira, which doesn't really help us here. We play a Heliod. They could have Bolt off the Mox Amber here, but let's hope they don't. We remove a counter from Spike Feeder to gain life. And we go save targets, choose Spike Feeder with Heliod. And they scoop. They cannot beat infinite life. Sweet!
Mission complete!
I'm not really sure what the fuck our opponent's doing, so I'm going to bring in the 2 Cambals. Maybe a Scoos. Maybe. I might just leave it at that for now until we figure out what the fuck's going on. If they are a graveyard-based deck, the Scoos will be good. Our opening hand has parts of combos and not a whole lot else, but I think I'm going to run with it. It's a good hand if we draw, like, into Viscera, Cord, or Company. Mystic Sanctuary from our opponent. So they're Rug cards from 2019, question mark? Play Verdant and pass. It almost looks like our opponents play a different deck from last game. We crack our Verdant, get an Overgrown Tomb tapped. We untap and draw Spike Feeder number 2. We play Scavenging Ooze. I don't want to really open up my Psylocke Outcast to removal spells too early. Galvanic Blast kills our Scoos, sure. They play an Engine Explosives for 0 so they can play an Emery, I assume. Emery lands, put an Astral Laden Mox Amber in the bin. Draw a Birds of Paradise. They Galvanic Blast out Melira. They activate Emery to cast the Mox Amber out of the graveyard. We drew Walking Ballista. We decided to Modus Red Cap this Emery. Ah, Metallic Rebuke. I'm really sick of getting got by that spell, I'm not gonna lie to you. They play another Mox Amber, which basically turns the Emery into a Mana Dork. They cast an Urza, so yep, it is just all the annoying cards from last year. We find ourselves with Godless Shrine, we find ourselves with Heliod Sun Crowned. The EE for 0 can actually kill our Walking Ballistas, frustratingly, so I guess we need to just play a Spike Feeder for now. And next time we gain Infinite Life. Then after that, we can go for it. What we need to be able to do is play the Walking Ballista for 2, so we can actually go for it in response to them activating the Engine Explosives. So if we draw a land, we should have been able to kill them there if we played Heliod. So maybe I should have played Heliod. They're using Baubles here to draw multiple cards in my turn whilst looking at the top of my library like some sort of pesky neighbour. Needle naming Spike Feeder, eh? Yeah, draw 2 cards in our turn, put them up to 3 cards in hand, 4 upon their draw on their turn. We drew a Chord of Calling. We can actually call for a Night of Autumn to blow up one of the things that are currently in play. Or we could play a Heliod. Let's play a Heliod. And we'll attack with our Spike Feeder. They play a Bauble. They play another Bauble. I probably should have used that life as defensively, as opposed to letting them swing in for like a silly amount of damage. They play a Needle on Heliod. Oh, Walking Ballista. Interesting. They don't want to get randomly machine gunned out. They might have known we were drawing Machine Gun Bastard thanks to the Mishra's Baubles, to be fair. We go to 6 here. I think we're just going to call for a night and blow up the Needle on Spike Feeder and then like gain 1,000,000 life. That might be our game plan at this point. As long as they don't have like Metallic Rebuke, obviously. They are now worrying for something? No, they're activating Urza. Urza finds a Misty Rainforest. They play the Misty Rainforest. And they don't crack their Baubles. Interesting. We drew a Viscera Seer, which I'm going to play. It resolves. I'm then going to Chord for 3. If this gets countered, we die. I guess I wait then? But if I wait, they untap. I've just shown them a rock chord, so the chance of them cracking these in our end step are low now. Whoopsie. Okay, one time no Metallic Rebuke, please. They don't have Metallic Rebuke. Sweet. Now, I guess Finks opens us up to them removing Viscera Seer, where blowing up the Needle naming Spike Feeder just gives us infinite life, so I think we just do that. I guess they can kill Spike Feeder in response to this. So maybe Finks gaining the life was better? I guess both lines are valid. I think the Finks line was actually better, come to think of it. Okay, I guess we're going to gain a load of life. Sweet. Looks like they can't be infinite life. We almost machine gunned them. We have won the die roll. Our hand has 2 parts of the combo in it, so I'm going to keep it. If our birds die, we ain't casting either. Oh boy. Our opponent's mulliganed to 6, so that's nice. My dog is now just randomly barking at me. Do you want to sit on my lap, Bob? Our opponent mulled to 6, which is nice, I guess. It's better to be lucky than it is to be good, as my grandfather used to say before he spat on me. He was weird. He had an obsession with spitting on people. It wasn't meant to be mean-spirited. Map from our Urza's tower leading opponent. Hope we can combo kill them before they get Tron online. We drew chord, so it looks like we will get to. Sweet. Urza's mine from our opponents. Maybe we won't then. Looks like they're going to Tron it turn through the map. We drew Spike Feeder, which is certainly something. I think we pass the turn here. If they don't play anything that stops us from Melira comboing them, like a Worm Call Engine, for example, then we just chord for Melira. If they do play something like a Khan, then we can chord for something appropriate. Don't forget the other thing as well is chord plus Spike Feeder is Heliod plus Spike Feeder, so Infinite Life, where chord plus Modus Red Cap is Melira plus Red Cap. That means infinite damage. They grab the power plant. They pay 7 mana for a Walking Ballista on 3. Now, I really wish we had a Collector Oof somewhere in our deck, but we don't. This resolves. They play a map. They begin to shoot my things, so I'm going to now chord for a Heliod. Then I'm going to sack my Viscerous here to look at the top card of my library. It's a Heliod. Let's put that on the bottom of my library. Now, they could still kill us with Eldrazi by, like, infinitely shuffling their libraries, I guess. So we don't auto-win from Spike Feeder Heliod. It might just buy us a lot of time. We drew Walking Ballista, which is certainly a magic card. We need another land to be able to kill them with it, though. We play Spike Feeder out. And we gain a load of life. Technically infinite, but we can't pick infinite. You have to pick arbitrarily large. And on Modo, you have to walk your way through it. 88 will do. That's a fine year. If we draw a land, we can Walking Ballista kill them next turn as long as they don't have interaction. If they can't kill our Heliod, that'd make me immensely sad. It's almost like I knew it was coming. Guess we gain a load more life in response. Okay, we'll stop at 106. That's my favourite number of Dalmatians from that movie about Dalmatians. We play a mine. We untap and we draw another, essentially a 4-drop, which is quite frustrating. We're going to play our Walking Ballista for 1. I think I'm going to kill Kana here. If I don't kill Kana here, I don't think we get a chance to again. Now we've got to put their hand is just full of crap, basically. That's all we got to pray for. I hope this company will get us there. They crack the expedition map, going to get a Buried Ruin. I can get their Walking Ballista back. Fuck me. I think this iteration of the deck's biggest problem is that if the Birds of Paradise or Dorks die, you only have 22 lands, so you actually struggle to hit more land drops. They Sylvan Scrying off of a Chromatic Sphere, getting another fucking Tron land. Look at this, they only have Tron lands in play. Oh no, they got a Sanctum of Ugin. That makes more sense, to be fair. We drew a land for our company, which is nice. Let's company in their turn. That means if they cast an Ulamog or similar, it means that I can company after they've declared their targets for exiling all my shit. They couldn't have access to 11 mana without hitting a land drop for this turn yet. They've used their Chromatic Sphere to Ancient Stirrings, Once Upon a Time, Sylvan Scrying. What obnoxious green cantrip are they going to play? Buried Ruin, get back. Don't get back the Walking Ballista. No! They're going to attack us for 6. I'm going to say okay. Nope, no attacks. End of turn, we're going to company. I'm not quite sure why they didn't get back the Walking Ballista and cast it for a whole bunch. But I'll take it. We found Heliod. And Kitchen Finks. Kitchen Finks gains us a life. The Heliod. We're going to turn off targets now. Drew another Spike Feeder. Not quite where we want to be, but whatever. Pass to our opponent. The Relic of Progenitors does mean that we can't Murder's Red Cap them out, because we can exile the Red Cap in response. Buried Ruin gets back Walking Ballista. This is going to be a fucking huge Ballista. So they crack the Relic now, which is good, because it means we still got the Murder's Red Cap combo kill line as our out. They play a Sanctum of Ugin, which means that when they cast this really big Walking Ballista, they get to go get an Ulamog. Walking Ballista for 6. And search up an Ulamog, as we predicted. We kind of need to draw a company and company into both Melira and Viscerous. And even then, we don't get there. We drew a Birds of Paradise. Fucking Birds of Paradise every damn time. We play the Birds of Paradise and then we just pass back to our opponents because, yeah, we have not got there this time, my friends. Kill the bird. Remove a count from Spike Feeder and put the counter on Birds of Paradise. Let's play a little game. Let's fuck around with our friend here. We can't outdo them. Look at the amount of counters they've got. 5, Jesus. Now they Ulamog, killing my Heliod and my kitchen things, I would assume. It also decks us. Ulamog's a very good way of beating us on Infinite Life. Targeting my Overgrown Tomb and my Heliod. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So they got 6 counters total. Okay. We'll lose the land on the Heliod. The Ulamog comes into play. They can now just kill my Birds of Paradise anyway. They kill my Spike Feeder as well, that insult to injury. They commit to killing my bird because that gives me no way of, like, accompanying into the win. They had a second Walking Ballista in hand as well, because of course they fucking did. We drew a land. We're going to pass back. They're going to hit us for 20 cards, and then we're going to Gavany. We need to hit, like, Melira plus a Fiend Hunter, and also have them tap out, so we can untap and draw. Nope, actually we can't. We can't play the Modus Red Cap. We don't have the mana. Game is over. They also played Nugan. Okay, there's no draws at that point because our mana is so bad. There's no Collector Oof on our sideboard, and that makes me really fucking sad. We probably need one of those. So as you can see, Infinite Light just isn't that good if you've got nothing to fucking follow up with. We were very close to getting to Walking Ballista them at one point in that game, I think. I don't know. It's all blowing into one big salty fucking mess. I would love to play first. I would love to have a hand that has a car. Fuck me. Look at that. Okay. This is certainly a hand. We're going to keep this. We're going to bottom the Fetchable Forest. We crack our fetch, get a Temple Garden, and play our Birds of Paradise and pass back. They play the Noses Tower into a Chromatic Sphere, so there's a slightly worse start than last time. Play a Marsh Rats, crack it for a Swamp. Play a Spike Feeder. They crack a Sphere, make it green, play a Mine, cast Sylvan Scrying to find the 3rd Tron land. We're just going to die to them consistently having Tron. Feels bad. Now, Walking Ballista, as you saw, was probably more brutal than even a turn 3 Khan. Drawing Assassin's Trophy would be pretty tight. We did not. That is a Khan. That's probably better for us than them hitting Walking Ballista here. They can exile one of my lands, which seems bad, but I guess if that's all they've got, that's all they've got. We're going to now Company. We hit Viscerus here, and we hit... or Spike Feed number 2. Assassin's Trophy goes to the bottom of our library with the Autumn. We're going to put counters on it, and we lose our Temple Garden. We join another Company. We're going to play this and shock ourselves. I'm going to attack. And now we've got to live in fear. In real fear of them going Ugin down tick. But we can float the mana in Company after the Ugin down tick, and we won't be too bad. We drew another land, that's good. We're going to go to combat and attack them. Which will hopefully force them to crack the stone. Yeah, it will. Okay. So let's make it green, make it black, make it green. Then we're going to do some scrying. So we're going to go put the Verdant on the bottom of our library. Try and make our Company a bit better here. Gain some life. Sacrifice the Knight of Autumn. Put the Gavany Township on the bottom of our library. And then sacrifice the Viscerus here. Watch them Ugin me now. Put on top of library, I guess. At least that means we've got at least one hit in this Company. Then we find Melira and a Sphinx. No! What am I doing? What am I doing? Why did I do that? Oops. I just cast that before letting the Oblivion Stone resolve. Oh, I was so fucking like... oh my god. That was dumb. My point was to let this resolve, then make some bodies. Balls. At least the one thing we've learned from this is that MTGO is not censoring the word balls. My bad. Fuck. Okay, well... oh, shit. Shit. Shit on it. Okay, they drop a chromatic sphere. Here's a Sanugan. So actually, really, company when we didn't matter. It was actually completely futile, some might say. I think to beat Tron with a deck like this, traditionally... oh no, it's not a Nugan. That's something, he says. With reserved breath. Birds of Paradise from us, passing back. Play a Wormcoil Engine. None of these things really matter if we can lock out into another company. Assassin's Trophy can take them off Tron. Oh, but the damage has been done, my friends. The damage has been fucking done. That is 11 damage. Give us the potential to draw into a company into into Melira plus a Viscera. Although two of them are still in a bin. Fuck. Oh, that's a big old walking ballista. No, it's not even a big old walking ballista. It's fucking worse. Alright then. GG. Well played. That was good. From them. Not so good from us. Okay, we've won a die roll. New match. Birds of Paradise Company in a walking ballista. His chords, double chord in hand doesn't feel great. Let's go Temple Garden Shock and play a bird. Worst case scenario, we can also play a 1/1 walking ballista to get these chords working at some point in the future. We need a third land and then not to kill our Birds of Paradise for our companies to be good. We need a lot of things to go right for this hand to be good. So if we lose the hand, that's my fault for keeping it. We draw a Night of Autumn, which is pretty bad. We're going to play a Walking Ballista for 1. Polluted Delta into Shocked Watergrave means probably a removal spell, and I'm assuming Death Shadow. God, that is a deck that I just cannot stomach. They're going to push up Ballista, we're going to shoot them in the face, and it's going to grow the Death Shadows. It's going to feel pretty bad! It's going to feel pretty bad. Cling to Dust. Okay, just exile the Polluted Delta and draw a card. A 1-mana cantrip. Interesting. A 1-mana cantrip that can be cast again later. Or multiple times, should I say. At least it's not my bird dying. That's a good thing. Eternal Witness, so we can get back. Unless they drown in the lock this, then I guess I'll feel fucking stupid. Yep, hitting land drops like a boss. They're gonna Snapcaster Cling to Dust my land. I hadn't even remotely considered because I have fucking no idea what our opponent is playing. Oh shit, and that draws them a card too. That's a pretty good use of 3 mana, I'm not going to lie. Doesn't mean they can't escape the Cling to Dust later in the game, but that's not much consolation, honestly. Cling the Catacombs, okay. Well, at least we're developing a board state for this Chord of Calling, am I right? They now have Cryptic Mana up for a Company, so we probably should have cast Company last turn, but if we dwell upon our mistakes, well, I'd never get anything done. No attacks from us. I want the Witness to be more bodies for the Chord of Calling, I guess, if they kill something now. 5th land drop from them. We're in a Company in their end step. I'm assuming this will be met with by some form of counter magic. It was not. Instead, we got to hit 2 different combo pieces. Sweet. We cast a Night of Autumn here, hoping to bait a counter spell. We're going to gain 4 life, which triggers Heliod. Then we're going to put up a counter on our Birds of Paradise, so we're going to attack with it next turn. They cast Fact or Fiction, which I forget got added to the format. Fact or Fiction is an incredibly skill-intensive card that shows up how fucking bad I am at this game. I'm going to do this in an attempt to make them think that I'm scared of Drown the Lock for some reason. They'll take the 4 cards. We can play through a Remand and a Bolt pretty easily. Drown the Lock right now doesn't do a whole lot, so our graveyard's not very full. But yeah, they took the 4 cards, which makes sense. I now chord for 3, and they will bolt my Mylock Melira even before. No, they do not. Cool. I'm going to grab Eternal Witness. And Eternal Witness is going to put Walking Ballista back in my hand. which Eternal Witness plus Heliod is obviously a kill. We just need to be on 6 mana to get there. They're going to crack their Tarn, grab a mountain, and bolt something. Probably the bird, I'd imagine. It's the bird. So we know they've got Remand in hand, 2 lands. That's one of the 2 lands. So there's now 5 unknown cards in hand. And now I'm just going to start wailing on them with my creatures, I think. We've got a critical mass here. They're going to block Melira there. Yeah, sure. Seems fine. They go to 6. They're then going to bolt my Knight of Autumn in response. Opponent costs K command to make us discard a card. Super interesting. They have a Remand in hand right now as well. Let's cast this Court of Call, which they will remand. Mystic Sanctuary putting... Oh, fucking hell. Putting Drown the Lock on top of the library. Wow. We actually have an insurmountable amount of an advantage here. And they're going to remand my Cord. Then we're going to discard a card to K command and feel absolutely devastated. It feels like life-linking up one of my attackers might have been the best way to actually get through here, as opposed to trying to force through some sort of combo against all... They can now snappy K command, and then the following turn, Drown the Lock! Meanwhile, we can't do shit. Oh, they've got another K command in hand. Yeah, okay, it's over. Right, so that was a bit of a pain in the arse, but we can get there in the next game, I'm sure. Okay, we're on the play. We've got a terrible hand, so we're going to mulligan this. This is only marginally better, but I mean, I'd rather this than the last hand, so let's count our lucky blessings. Heath go from us. Feels bad. 6 dorks. Would like to draw 1. Opponent plays Creeping Tar Pit. So, slow start from them, but let's be honest, their deck seemed to be a slow starting deck that then had insurmountable card advantage that we could not beat. Drew a red cap, so we got 2 parts of the combo, not the worst. Play a Melira. Our Melira is now dead to a Drown the Lock, because we have 2 cards in our graveyard. Good old fetch lands fucking us over. We grab and shock ourselves a Godless Shrine, so we have access to all our mana. Although I probably side out the Fiend Hunter, so perhaps that was dumb. Get in for 2. Our opponent cats a Tarn on their end step. Doesn't shock themselves. Tarn from our opponent, but no spell cast. We drew another birds. I think we're just going to play both our birds this game. They might have like Anger of the Gods or similar, as they appear to be just straight up Grixis control. So we need to be careful. I'm fine with like Kozilek's Return or the other version of that. So they're going to snappy here. Then they're going to block the middle. This seems kind of desperate. Maybe they snappy block the Kambal and fire off a bolt at it. We play out both our birds, so next turn we can company if they don't wrath us. They didn't have a removal spell for the Kambal, so that didn't seem like the optimum line they just took. Shock? Sure. So we can no longer search our library, so our fetch lands are off until we attack this Shock. Will they down tick and get us? No, they want to keep it up, so we have to threaten if we want to. We're not going to. We drew another Kambal, but he's legendary, so we can't just like fire out another one. We take our opponent to 9. I want to company in their turn in case of a Wrath, but at the same time I don't want to company into a Drown in the Lock if they manage to kill one of our creatures with a Bolt, for example. So I think we have to do it in our turn. Find Spike Feeder and Heliod, so I guess we have infinite life now. And they've seen enough. Our hand has Dorks, Company, Accord, and a Heliod, and I think I keep this. Pull it out from our opponent. Shock a Tomb into play, and play a Noble Hierarch. Our opponents shock themselves, and this is going to be a fatal push on our Hierarch, or an opt. It's a push on our Hierarch. And then they miss a land drop? Oof. That hurts. That hurts a lot. For them, not for us. We play our second Dork, and pass the turn back. They miss their second land drop again on turn 3. I mean, I guess we've got incredibly lucky this game. We're just going to company where they don't have Drown the Lock or Remand mana. We find Kitchen Finks and Eternal Witness. Now, we could have chose Walking Ballista there, let it die, and then grabbed it back with the Eternal Witness that we're also choosing. But I didn't do that. That's good if you've got loads of mana to then go for the Heliod Ballista kill combo, but we don't have enough mana to like do that. Tap land from our opponent. We're accompanying again while they're tapped out. We find Viscera, and we find Spike Feeder, Scavenging Ooze, and Witness. All pretty good. Like, witnessing back our Collected Company pretty good, but I might leave it in the library for the Court of Calling. Spike Feeder gives us infinite life with Heliod, obviously, but Skoos is pretty good if we think they've got snappies. I'm taking the Skoos there because, essentially, the Kitchen Finks plus Viscera is a Spike Feeder anyway with a Heliod in play. No need to crack our fetch here. Unless they don't play a third land. Yeah, I'm going to crack my fetch and grab a basic forest here. And then we're going to gobble up that Fatal Push in their graveyard. We're going to untap and draw Melira as well. Interesting. So, do they scoop to any of this? Because it infinitely grows our team if we have Melira and Heliod in play. Oh, they've drowned the lock. Fair enough. We should have led the other way around. I think Heliod's better than Melira here. Yeah, we have infinite life, infinite scries. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can't chord for Murder's Wreck up this turn, but we can chord for only 3, drop the interact with our opponent. Okay, our opponent got very unlucky. So my salt from earlier is now dissipated, and I feel like, I guess, variance evens out sometimes.
Final round.
Okay, we have Dork, Ballista, Cord, Psylocke, and Heliod. Let's keep it. If they kill our Dork, we might just do nothing. But, you know, that's just magic, right? Sometimes they bolt your bird. Sometimes they bolt your bird. We drew a land, which is... No, we didn't draw a land. I'm just fucking lying to you. That's a Collected Company. I played a land after not drawing a land. Fuck, it's really hard to talk sometimes. Stomping Ground tap from our opponent. Looks like their big Manascape shift nonsense. Small chance they're Jund, but let's be real. Jund players wouldn't play with the latest Stomping Grounds. They need, like, retro, original, Ravnican, fucking Russian foils, don't they? They're worse than Charbelcher players. Okay, they have a Savage Stomp. This is not big. This is like fucking Ponza. This is way worse for us than Scape Shift. Fuck. 4 mana Chandra or Bloodbraid? Bloodbraid, okay. Bloodbraid into Once Upon a Time. Fucking Christ on a bike. How much selection do you want? Shit the bed. They found a Glorybringer with it. We're gonna crack this fetch and play. The Glorybringer's gonna kill our Walking Ballista before we can end up putting a counter on it. That's the problem we've got here. Another Bloodbraid Elf. Which found a Utopia Sprawl, meaning we're gonna get Glorybringer next turn. This is fine, he says. Kinda, maybe. Not sure. They attack us for 6, so we're gonna just die next turn? Yeah, we're just gonna die next turn. These things happen. Should have played the Melira Psylocke outcast so we could have randomly got there this turn. We're 1 mana short. Finks plus another 2 lands would make this, give this lifelink, and then we could kill them. Sugar Puffs, Sugar Puffs, Sugar Puffs. Okay, so we need to survive. We're getting hit for 5 in the air. Player Finks. It probably takes a little while to think, and what if just trying to figure out exactly how this interaction works. It's not infinite. We're just going to put a counter on Walking Ballista, and that's it. I think for this position, unless they play something other than the Glorybringer, we're in a really, really good spot. Hopefully I'll show you that once our opponent's finished reading and or thinking about it. I asked my opponent if they're okay. It's been like 4 minutes, 5 minutes now, since I cast this spell. I cast it at 13:32, and now it's 13:39. 7 minutes! Maths is hard. They obviously haven't disked. Or they would have told me that, right? And it looks like our opponent didn't want to play any more Magic. Okay, can I return to that game just to talk about what was going to happen? Okay, when Kitchen Finks came into play, it was going to trigger on make 2 life, which would have triggered Heliod and put a counter on Walking Ballista, making it a 2-2. At that point, we pass back to our opponent. Our opponent has a Glorybringer in hand that we know about, so our intention, or at least our assumption, is that they're going to cast a Glorybringer. Glorybringer will attack us and try to nuke one of our creatures with its exert effect, I would assume. My assumption is that it would hit for Walking Ballista, but I guess they could go for the Finks. We'll talk about that in a second. When the exerted Glorybringer shoots our Walking Ballista, we ping off with 2 counters thanks to Heliod, one of the Bloodbraid Elves. We'll be on 8 life because of the life from the Kitchen Finks. We'll then Kitchen Finks block a Bloodbraid Elf. That will then die. Our Finks will die. Our Finks will come back. We will gain 2 more life. We'll also take 5 from the Glorybringer, so we'll actually go down to 3 plus 2 is 5, so we'll end up on 5. Oh, it's 4 from Glorybringer! We're up on 6! Heliod will trigger, we'll put a counter on the Kitchen Finks, and the Kitchen Finks will reset without a counter on it. Then in our turn, we will untap, we will fetch a Forest, and then we will play Melira. We'll have Melira in play, a Finks in play, and 2 other lands. Essentially, we needed to draw one more land, to be able to Court of Calling, off of 3 lands, a Melira, and a Finks for 1. Wait, no, we wouldn't even need the new land. We could do it off Melira, the Finks, and the 2 lands to Court of Calling for 1 for our beloved Viscera Seer, a person who likes to play in the blood of their enemies, and then we can just infinitely gain life and scry. And then I think our opponent's deck probably would have struggled to kill us. Now, all of that tumbles down if the last 2 cards in their hand, one of them is a land, and they draw a Bolt, or vice versa, because they could have gone land, Bolt the Ballista, or kill some stuff. Then they could have Glorybringered, killed the Finks. But the Finks would have come back with the Heliod. Actually, no, yeah, I think we're actually bold-proof in that circumstance as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. That was Heliod Company. As you can see, the deck is very consistent at comboing. The problem you have in Modern is that there's a lot of decks that don't give a shit about you having infinite life. Mainly decks like Ad Nauseam, or perhaps the Breach combo deck using the new Thassa's Emissary, or in the case of the Tron matchup, fucking Ulamog exiling your deck. There are decks that just kill you regardless of having 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000, even 1.5 million life. It just doesn't give a shit. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi of the internet. I hope you enjoyed the videos. I hope you've enjoyed this video in particular. I'll be back soon with some more videos on Theros Beyond cards in Modern, Pioneer, and Legacy. And there'll be some EDH and Chill coming next week, some D&D content coming up, and some Legends of Runeterra content coming up this week as well. Until next time, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think of this combo and this deck. And I'll see you all in the next video. Ta-ta for now.